Courtney, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So all of a sudden, Jojo Diaz, he wins the fight over Javier Fortuna and becomes one of the most wanted fighters in the lightweight division. The Fortuna fight was a title eliminator fight for Devin Haney's belt. After Jojo Diaz beat Fortuna, the first person he called out was Ryan Garcia. The second person he called out was Devin Haney. And then after he mentioned Ryan Garcia's name first, DAZN, they started to push for the Ryan Garcia fight, completely ignoring Devin Haney, even though once again, they were fighting for Devin Haney's belt, at least to be in position to fight for the belt, right? So after watching all this go down, it seemed like a foregone conclusion that Jojo Diaz was about to pull another type of Teofimo Ryan Garcia move, right? And then Devin Haney, he hopped on the internet, he hopped on Twitter, I believe, and he asked a question. He was asking a question to Jojo Diaz. How are you going to fight in a title eliminator for my belt and then call out someone else? This is when Jojo, he told Devin Haney, I'll fight you. Devin Haney, he said, how about October? And Jojo, he said, let's do November. And this is when Devin Haney said, bet. Shortly after that, we get reports that Jojo Diaz was high on Tank Davis' list when it comes to Tank's next opponent. So all of a sudden, Jojo Diaz, he has two of the biggest options in the lightweight division. And then you fast forward to present day, and Jojo Diaz, he posts a tweet that strongly suggests that he is definitely choosing Devin Haney as his next opponent over a Tank Davis or even a Ryan Garcia. Well, I can't say he chose over Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia never even responded to Jojo calling him out. So there's a very good chance that even though Jojo called him out, Ryan never wanted that fight in the first place, which means it was either going to be Tank Davis or Devin Haney. So after Jojo Diaz goes back and forth with Devin Haney, he comes out with this post on Twitter and he says, I want Devin next. I'm going to do everything possible to make that happen, end quote. You know, we hear fighters all the time, especially this year, claim that they want to fight someone, saying that they're going to fight someone next. And then it turns out to be a big hoax. But I think there's a very, very good chance that Jojo Diaz is a lot more serious than fighters like Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez when they claim they want to fight Devin Haney next or Gervonta Tank Davis next. The one difference from Jojo Diaz and Teofimo and Ryan Garcia is Jojo is not undefeated. So he doesn't have this undefeated record to protect. If you guys notice, usually whenever someone loses their undefeated record, they're normally usually willing to fight dangerous type of opponents that they weren't willing to fight before. Maybe this is the case with Jojo Diaz, maybe it's not. But it is a fact that usually when fighters lose, for the first time, they're willing to face tougher competition. Keith Thurman, he never wanted to fight Errol Spence when he was undefeated. Now he's clamoring for an Errol Spence fight. Manny Pacquiao, he wasn't undefeated, but he lost the most important fight of his career, which is to Floyd Mayweather. All of a sudden, and I had already told you guys this. I told you guys this way before Manny Pacquiao started to fight all of these good PBC fighters. I told you, don't be surprised if Manny Pacquiao goes the Roberto Duran route. Roberto Duran, he lost the most important fight of his career to Sugar Ray Leonard. What did he do to try to make up for that loss? He moved up in weight and he went after some of the most dangerous undefeated lions. And he beat some of them, right? Because you don't feel like you have as much to lose anymore when you have already either lost your undefeated record or lost the most important fight in your career. But once again, with Jojo Diaz, that could be the case. Maybe it's not the case. Let's not forget Jojo Diaz. He was the only fighter that was willing to fight Gary Russell. I mean, by Jojo's own admission, he actually said it at the press conference. He said nobody wanted to fight Gary Russell. He said not Abner Mares, not Leo Santa Cruz. No one wanted to fight him. So that kind of gives you a little indication of how serious Jojo Diaz could possibly be when it comes to this Devin Haney fight. The only difference, though, from Gary Russell to a Devin Haney is Jojo Diaz was way bigger than Gary Russell when they fought. They fought at 126, and Diaz was at least 10 to 15 pounds heavier than Gary the night of the fight. In fact, Diaz even said going into that fight, his main weapon was going to be his size. He felt that Gary Russell was way too small for him. And Jojo Diaz, he was already planning on moving up in weight before that fight. So by way of contrast, when it comes to Devin Haney, Devin is the complete opposite of Gary Russell in terms of size. Gary Russell was shorter and smaller than Jojo Diaz. Devin Haney will be taller than Diaz and much longer because Devin has a really long reach. So this is definitely going to be a very tough fight for Jojo Diaz. But if he takes this fight, he deserves a lot of credit because that means Jojo Diaz was willing to do something that Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez weren't willing to do. So hopefully this fight comes to fruition. Hopefully they start sending out paperwork right now. There's no reason to wait. Since Devin doesn't have a fight scheduled and neither does Jojo Diaz, they need to start negotiating this fight right now. There's no reason to wait around for another month. Take care of it now. Trust me, if Jojo Diaz really wants this fight, because we already know Devin wants it, I mean, why does a champion go on the internet and push for someone to fight for his belt? Because that's pretty much what Devin Haney did, right? But at the end of the day, once the paperwork gets sent out to Jojo Diaz, then we will really know if he's serious. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Fellas, I've got some great news for you. If you've lost your hair or have a receding hairline, the time has come when you can finally get your hairline back through a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that replicates the look of your hair follicles when you have fully shaved it down. So to get this hookup, make sure you follow and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, then this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called Elo de Key Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to elodekey.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.